So right now I'm putting front and rear brakes on a Nissan VERSA SV. 4 lug nuts. Got the impact socket. And the size is a 13/16. 13/16. You want a socket with no play. No play means you don't want it to go back and forth like that. And got the impact gun. Electric model made by Craftsman. Excellent tool, excellent tool. Got the heavy jack stand, which I'm gonna use 4 of them. Got the 4-way, that's a breakaway. A couple other impact sockets. Let's get this going. Now we're taking the lug nuts off. The lug nuts there, put them to the side. Wheels off. And we are going to get these brake pads off of here. Set this impact drill back in the garage. And we are going to take these brakes off. You want to use all impact sockets to take the cowl off the back caliper. And the socket to take those 2 bolts off is a 14mm. And once again, like I said, I'm using an impact socket. So here it is. So here you go, I got the caliper off. I'm gonna put an old brake pad, which is like one of these, but this is a new one. I'm going to take one of these off. Then I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to take my C-clamp, put it on here, and push the caliper back. Or I might even just stick that in here, the caliper in here, and push the caliper back. So I'm going to show y'all how I do that. Alright, so now I'm going to begin to take these brake pads off of this Nissan VERSA SV. So my caliper, I'm going to push back with my C-clamp. Y'all stay with me. Let me get my C-clamp. This is a C-clamp, everybody. So this is going to go back here behind the caliper. Easier way to do it. Back in the day, we used to put an old brake pad on here, and it would go in between here, and you would push back. But being that there's a hole in here, you could just basically do this, and you're not going to damage the caliper because it's solid steel in there. Now you slowly push it back. Y'all can see it starting to retract. See that going back? Sorry about the lighting, people, but I'm going to talk you through it. You'll know when it's all the way back because it won't budge. Don't force it. Now that's all the way back. Now, bear with me. This is a C-clamp, like I said. This is a tool used to push a caliper back, but they have a tool they use for this, but this is what we do around the way. LL Cool J, around the way, girl. That's funny. All right, so I've never changed these before, so I'm going to look at them. I've seen this lever before. Now, as long as I know where, I think the sensor goes on the back of these ones. Okay, so now I see that. That is this one. So this one is the sensor. If you look at these two, Just if you turn the brakes the same way, sensor is on one side and one is on the other. Always make sure what it was on there before you put these on there, because you don't want the sensor on the opposite side, down or up, which it doesn't matter, because the only thing the sensor does is squeal when the brakes get real low. Always some drama in the neighborhood. So once these pads get down real low, it'll scratch them. If you getting down to that, you better get your brakes off, which that's something I need to do as well. So I'm gonna pull this out of here. And this clip, as a matter of fact, I know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna pull this out of here. This just keeps the brakes together. This little V plug, I'll show y'all where that goes in a second. So snap this right on out of here. All right, now, should have took the bottom one out. Now, that bottom one is out. I gotta remember that. Top, no, bottom, top. See that corrosion in there. What I'm gonna do is change one brake first. Now, this is pretty strange that a sensor is on the brake pad. And no, so that's not one of the sensors. Let me look at that. Give me a second, people. All right, so the sensor is on the back. I'm glad I looked at that. So it is this one. So this sensor goes on the back. So that's the back side. And this goes on the back side on the other one. These two are the same. All right, these pads are all the same. You always want to check them. This is an old one. All right, now show y'all what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get my, I already got it out. This is something you do. A lot of people don't do it. You grease the track and the back of the brake pad that you're putting on her. So you want to put this up in here. I really don't want to use my fingers, but this stick will come in handy. So you want to put this in here. All this is a grease, and it keeps the pad sliding back and forth. So when you press on the brake, it squeezes the rotor, which is the rotor right here. So it'll squeeze that rotor, and when you let off, it backs off. But you always, this is not oil, people, this is just a grease to keep the track moving. I'm gonna show y'all a little trick you keep on here so they don't make noise. Scariest thing about brakes is people panic. They don't realize they get hot. When they're brand new, they get hot and they smell. I don't like the smell of new brakes because they stink. You think something will happen in your car, like it's gonna catch on fire, but it's not. So we're gonna put bottom side in first. To each his own. You can put the top in depending on how good you are, and it go in just like that. So I'm gonna pull the back side out. Sometimes when you're working on cars, I'm gonna tell you something that I really hate. Parts fall out of there. Oh, it scares me. That's the old one, which wasn't bad. They were just probably making noise. Me personally, I mean, if you bought them, might as well change them. But this side, all right, this is the new pad. Now I'm gonna put some grease in that track, and then I'm gonna show you what I said I was gonna do with the a trick you do. Somebody will say it's not a trick, that's just something you're supposed to do. You ain't gonna be able to see this, but I'm putting grease on the inside of the track once I get that nasty shit out of there. There we go. And I hear it storming. Let's get this pad up in there. Never put oil on these pads, because you will go to the resurrection. All right. Those are on. This was what this brush is for, okay? You do this. Caliper is gonna slide up and down over that. So you're gonna put this just on the back side of the back plate. I'm only filming one side, all right? Now we're gonna put this back on. Now, these lock, so you gotta make sure this lines up with the base plate, or they won't go on right. They only go on one way. I've seen people put stuff on and like, oh, it's on. Well, it didn't go on. We didn't line it up right. There. So I'm putting these 2 bolts in. Start them. This is really a fast job, depending on who you are. Now, this shouldn't turn, and they're not. So, put your 14 millimeter socket back on. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Right is to tighten them up. Don't tighten it all the way up. Get it snug. So go down to the bottom, get that one snug. Go back up to the top. Go back down to the bottom. This is not a moving part, so you don't want to over tighten. All right. Now, I'm gonna put the tire on. I'm gonna pull this out. This was just so the car don't fall, but the tire will actually keep it from hitting the ground. So this is a new pad, and this is a new pad. I'm gonna set them aside. Don't worry about where they are. Put this wheel on real quick to show y'all how this goes on. All right, start these. My gun is in there, but I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna get this gun and then put this on, and y'all gonna say, wow, what an easy job. It's really easy. This is a Milwaukee impact socket gun. You never go 1, 2, 3, 4. You go 1, back, over, down. As long as you do a different direction, the tire will go on evenly. There you go. Those ain't going nowhere. Now, that's that. I'll put the hubcap on, and that side is done. Make sure, whenever you put the brakes on, make sure you put these V-clips back on here. So you want to make sure the V-clips go in the hole. One there, one there. Same with the bottom. So you'll find that hole for it. And they're in there. Then you go ahead and put your caliper back over it.